Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys one of my favorite decks, Heroes. I will let you guys know that I am kind of sick today, so if I sound off, that's why. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop right into the deck profile. So starting off, we of course run 3 copies of Elemental Hero Shadows to search out our hero monsters. We run 2 Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, because if it's special summoned, you can search for a mask change, or if it's into the graveyard, you can search for a hero monster. And then I run 1 copy of Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. This card pretty much says that when it's summoned, you can special summon 1 Elemental Hero monster, or 1 hero monster from your graveyard onto your field, and then if it's used for a fusion material, then you can draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. Pretty good effect on that. Then moving on to the Vision Heroes, I run 3 copies of Vision Hero Ferris. This card says that you can discard one hero monster from your hand, then you can special summon this card, and then activate a Vision Hero in your spell and trap zone as a continuous trap card, and that card is Vision Hero Increase. This card says that while it is a continuous trap card, you can tribute one hero monster you control, special summon it, then special summon 1 other Vision Hero from your deck. That target is Vision Hero Vion. This card says that whenever it is summoned, you can then send 1 hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then it has a second effect where you can banish one hero monster from your graveyard to add a polymerization from deck to hand. Really good. Moving on to the Destiny Heroes, I run 2 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Of course, that is so that way I can banish, summon another one out of the deck. Then I run 1 copy of Denier. This card has an effect that says when it is summoned, you can then take 1 of your banished hero monsters, and then 1 of your banished Destiny Hero monsters, and then add it back to your deck. It also has another effect that if you have another Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard, while this card's in the graveyard, you can special summon itself out. Really good. Then you run 1 copy of Plasma. This card is a walking one-sided skill drain, so it negates all monsters on your opponent's field. The only way you can get it out is by tributing 3 monsters to special summon it. Then I run 1 copy of Destiny Hero Dark Angel. This card says that if you have 3 copies of if you have 3 Destiny Hero monsters in your graveyard, you can discard this card, target 1 of those Destiny Heroes, and then special summon it to your opponent's out of the field. You want to target this card itself, because you discard first, then target, and then you special summon it to your opponent's out of the field. If they activate a spell, if they activate a spell card, it is negated and destroyed. Even if it doesn't get an effect, it's still destroyed, like Branded Lost, for instance. Continuing on to the spell cards, we run 3 copies of A Hero Lives. This card says you can pay half your life points to special summon 1 hero monster from your deck. That is not a once per turn, which is really good. Then we run 3 copies of Mask Change. This card says target 1 hero monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and then if you do, special summon 1 masked hero monster from your extra deck with the same attribute. Then we run 2 copies of Destiny Fusion. This card could come back to 3 on the next list. I'm really hoping it does, because it would really help heroes. This card, you could send Destiny Hero monsters from your deck to the graveyard to special summon a Destiny Hero monster from your extra deck, which is really good because it allows you. This card is technically a 1-card combo in this deck. Then you run 2 copies of Polymerization. And then you run 1 copy of Miracle Fusion. This card is a fusion spell that says you can banish monsters from your graveyard to special summon an elemental hero monster. Continuing on, we do run the 3 copies of Super Polymerization, so that way we can fuse off our opponent's monsters into either our Super Poly targets or even our elemental heroes. And then I run 3 copies of Triple Tactics Talent, so that way we can get. So that way, if your opponent activates a hand trap on your turn, you can find out what they're playing and then choose your board from there. And then you run 1 copy of Reinforcement of the Army, 1 copy of Foolish Burial, 1 copy of Called by the Grave to wrap up the spell cards. To round off the deck, we do run 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. This is mainly to either stop your opponent's turn, or if you really need to, you can hold on to it so that way you can get rid of like big disruptions on your turn. Continuing on to the extra deck, we do run one copy of Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. This card, pretty much, if y'all don't know what it does, you can, like, once per turn, quick effect, you can target one card you control, one card your opponent controls, destroy them both, and then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can actually activate its effect to special summon itself during the next standby phase, which is really good. One copy of Destiny Hero Dystopia. This card, pretty much, the main reason why we run this is it is a burn card. It says that when it's summoned, you can target one Destiny Hero monster in your graveyard, burn your opponent for the amount of attack that that monster has. However, it does have to be level 4 or lower. It also has another effect that if its attack points are different than its original, you can then destroy one card on the opponent's. You'll destroy one card on the field, which is actually really good. Continuing on to the Masked Heroes, we run 2 copies of Dark Law, so that way, if any card your opponent sends to the graveyard, it is banished instead. And if your opponent adds a card from deck to hand, you can then randomly banish one card in their hand, which is really good. One copy of Masked Hero Acid. This card says that when it is summoned, destroy all spells or trap cards your opponent controls. One copy of Blast. The main reason why we run Blast is for if your opponent activates like Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanence targeting your Stratos. However, it has a really good second effect that says like that once per turn, quick effect pretty much. You can pop one card, one spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. So that's really good. Moving on, we do run one copy of Elemental Hero Sunrise. This card says that when it is summoned, you can then search for a Miracle Fusion. It also has another effect that says that all hero monsters you control gain 200 attack points for each attribute on your field, which is amazing. And then I run one copy of Absolute Zero. This card says that it gains 500 attack for each water monster on the field, except for Absolute Zero. That doesn't really come up too much, however, it does have another effect that says, if this card leaves the field, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. So it is a Raigeki, so if you summon this, activate Mask Change to summon your Acid, you can then wipe your opponent's entire field, pretty much. Continuing on, we do run one copy of The Shining. It doesn't really come up too much, however, it still can, it's really good. It says this card gains 200 attack for each of your banished Elemental Hero monsters. But the main reason why I use it is I've had to use it against somebody who summoned Avramax, and I just, got rid of it. Continuing on, we do run one copy of Great Tornado, mainly so that way if we need to, we can summon it against our opponent to half all their attack and defense of all their monsters. And we do run one copy of Elemental Hero Escorado. The main reason why we run this is because it is a dark Elemental Hero that we can super poly with. So that's it for the Hero Fusion monsters. As y'all probably can't tell, I do not run the Malicious Bane. Only reason why I don't is because the deck has enough monsters in the deck that boost or decrease attack that we don't really need the extra firepower in that situation. But continuing on with the Super Poly targets, I do run one copy of Garura. This card is amazing. Pretty much it says that it takes 2 monsters with the same type and attribute, but with different names, and then it also has the effect that any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving this card is doubled. Then it has another effect that if it's sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. Then I run one copy of Stapella. This card says that its requirements is 1 fusion monster plus 1 dark monster, so you can use this against Despia, you can use it against Tier Element. But pretty much it is a once per turn monster effect negate by giving them a Predaplant with Predacounter on it. To wrap up the extra deck, I do run 2 copies of Extra Hero Cross Crusader. This card says that when it is summoned, you can special summon back a Destiny Hero monster. So in most cases, that will be your Destiny Hero Denier. And then you do also, it does have a second effect that says you contribute 1 Destiny Hero monster on your field to search your deck for any Elemental Hero monster. However, if you summon this card, you are locked into hero monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. But really good effect. So that's it for the extra deck. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys my side deck. I do run 3 copies of Nibiru, 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird, because this card is actually really good right now. 2 Twin Twisters, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, because Mystic Mine is very popular right now. I also run 3 copies of Evenly Matched for Field Wipe, and then, of course, 3 copies of D-Barrier. Alright, so that's about it for the deck profile, guys. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give a like, comment down below the deck you'd like to see next, and to subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed it. I also do have a Twitter, link to that is in the description. But I think that's about it, guys. Have a good one.